once bright, and you're now with me to shine your light. And the skyline's empty, nowhere to hide. It's a lonely city, it's a lonely night. Nobody told me to settle down. Day nights and late nights don't get around. But there's something about you I like, about you I like. You're crazy for saying I should slow down, but maybe I'm escaping the love we found. There's something about you I like, about you I like. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better. Guess I'm just too scared to settle down. There'd be many nights I got too high and almost left town. But there's something about you I like, about you I like. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, nobody loves me better. I get too drunk and too scared and lie.
Hold up, broski.
What's up, man?
Did you hear about the vine?
Wine?
Vine.
Dine?
Vine.
Wine? You drink?
No, man, I'm talking about the vine.
Divine, like Holy Night?
The vine.
Oh, like Vine, like Hurricane Tortilla.
No, dude, it's from the Bible, bro.
Free Shavaka,
In
dude.
John 15, Jesus says he's the vine and we're the branches, bro.
Hold up, you're telling me I'm a branch, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, word. So that's why I use the phrase going out on a limb.
Guess so. So we got to abide.
You got a bride? Mazel tov, man.
No, dude, abide.
Abide of what, dude? You want some za?
No, I don't want your pizza, dude.
Whoa, dude, chill. You're lucky I got another one, man. What the heck, man? And to think I bought this for your wedding, dude.
I'm not married, bro.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry. She left you, bro?
What? No, bro. No one left me, dude.
All right, dude. Good for you, man. Forget her.
Whatever, man.
Wait a minute.
What?
Is that the Declaration of Independence?
Presenting National Treasure 3, In God We Trust.
The Declaration of Independence?
The Declaration of Independence?
Declaration of Independence?
No way!
Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to Emerge. We got a game to kick things off. It is called Chair Swap. What you're going to do is look at the prompt that comes on the screen and organize your row based on whatever it tells you. You and friends, get in order. Here it goes.
First question. seconds left. 3, 2, 1, round over. Next question. 15 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, round over. Next question. 15 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, round over. Next question. 15 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, round over. Next question.
'Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to Emerge. Hey. Happy spring break. So excited for you guys. We're going to do things a little differently this morning. So typically we have the message and then break off into small groups. We're going to do small groups during the message. And it's going to be back and forth. And it's going to be great. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So first, we're going to split out middle schoolers. So middle school girls, you guys are going to all be, 7th and 8th grade girls are all going to be together with Miss Lori. 6th graders are with Miss Shanty. Y'all guys can stand up. And then middle school guys are going to be with Mr. Mike. He's out there. And Nate. 7th and 8th grade guys. My bad. Okay. Then you'll go with Nate. Okay. High school. Hey, we're going to break up and maybe do like 2 or 3 groups. Let's go ahead and break up into your grades. So we'll do juniors over here and sophomores over here, and let's see what we ended up with. Okay, where are my 9th graders? Okay, I'm going to put y'all with sophomores, and then seniors, we'll put y'all over here with juniors. This is going to be fun. Yeah. You guys good? There's so many of you. If some of you guys want to come over here, you can. Okay, great. Cool. Okay, this is going to be so easy, and I'm not going to get distracted at all. Hey, we're starting a new series today. It's called Prism. Have you guys ever seen a prism before? Do you guys remember, like in science class, the little glass triangle? The cool thing about a prism is when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's a glass triangle. Like, great. But when you hold it up to light, it refracts the light, and then you get like this rainbow thing that happens, and it's really pretty, it's really cool. And so when we talk about the idea of a prism, we're looking at scripture in this way where you think you have an idea of what something is, but then when you try and look at it differently, you begin to see things that you haven't seen before because you're looking at it in this new light. And we're going to approach the Easter season this way. And hopefully by the end of it, we'll have this grasp on who Jesus is and on just the impact and the importance of all that we celebrate throughout Easter. And so that's the idea I want you guys to keep in mind when you guys, when we're talking through this Prism series, is this light and the way that we can look at things differently. So first of all, how many of you guys have like a thing that nobody knows about you? Some of y'all are open books. That's great. So I have no chill, absolutely zero chill, and this is something that I have like dealt with throughout my life in elementary through middle and high school. I just was someone who was a lot. Do you guys ever feel like you have to hold yourself back? Probably not all of you, but some of you guys feel like if you were just fully yourself, people would be like, okay, I just need a break from that. So that's me. Whether I have like a new hobby or a new show or I meet a new person and we're friends, I'm like 110% in, and it becomes an obsession. And we talked a little bit about this when in our last series, but gets weird. It gets weird. So yeah, I have no chill, and so that's something that not a lot of people know about me because it's something I try and keep inside so that people don't get scared. And so now I have more friends because I'm less of myself. But we're going to explore that, and you're going to talk in just a second. But I think we all have things that people don't know about us, things that we try and not let into the light. So I believe that's our first break for small groups. So small group leaders, go ahead and go around for a few minutes for your first question for a little icebreaker. All right, just a few more seconds and we'll bring it back in. Did you guys all learn some new things about each other? Leg. Well, it depends because I don't always do the whole leg. Yeah. No. I have heard of it. I've not tried it. Okay, I'll get some Vaseline. Sorry, we'll get right back to this. That is really soft. Okay. A little ad for slugging. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we're going to bring it back together and get back on topic. So, thank you. So, it's easy to see how people are kind of like prisms, right? That they can live into this idea where you think you see somebody for who they are, and then if you turn the light, that you start to see sides of them that you didn't know, right? It all comes together, and it makes sense, and I came up with that all by myself. But maybe you guys are also in the place where you feel like people don't really know you. Like we just mentioned earlier, that people don't know the full you, and if they did, what then? Would you still be accepted? And I think that we all kind of find ourselves feeling like this at some point or another, that we don't really fit in and that nobody really knows us. In fact, there's like we have a new friend. Hey, there's a study, a research study, because people study teenagers a lot because you guys are just like an enigma. And what's it say? 40% of middle and high school students from the survey say that they felt lonely or disconnected from others most of the time. So like a majority of their time, these students feel disconnected from their peers. And so we can look at it this way, that for most of us, there seems to be a barrier. Hey, we're split out in our rooms. Okay, cool. That there's like a barrier almost. You can think of it like a curtain, and where between us and other people. So sometimes we feel like we're here and everybody else is over there, and there's just something in the way of us feeling 100% connected to everybody else. It could be us getting in the way. It could be feeling like other people aren't receiving us well, or we're just not in the right friend group, or whatever it is. But there's something between us and everyone else, this barrier. With that said, I want you guys to know two things in regards to this. One, that everybody feels this way. Everybody feels this way. And number two, we're all pretty sure that it's not supposed to be this way, right? Pretty sure that we were not created to feel like we're not able to connect with other people. We're not created to feel lonely most of the time. And sometimes we can feel that way not only about other people, but about God. We feel like that there's this barrier between us, between fully connecting to God. Like God is far away or cold or distant or abstract. And when we get to that place, it can be really hard for us to dive deeper into our faith if we're not even able to connect to who God is. And so when we come into this time of Easter, or maybe Christmas or whatever, it's a big time for people to start coming back to church, right? Because it's like the big holiday seasons where you don't go to church the rest of the year, but you come on Easter and you come on Christmas. I wonder why those are the days that people come, but it's so hard for them to keep coming the rest of the year. And I wonder if it's because they struggle to feel connected to who God is. So this is going to be break 2. We'll get a little bit longer for this. Small group leaders, go ahead and move to that second set of questions, and I'll bring you guys back together. We've got about 2 more minutes left on this section. All right, guys, we're going to rein it back in. So in the same way that that people are like prisms, where you start to get a different side of them and see things that you didn't see before, we can see the same kind of thing happen with Jesus, where we start to look at him in different ways and explore whether the culture that he's around or dive deeper into the stories that we see about him, that we start to see different sides of who Jesus is that's maybe not your children's ministry Jesus. In the time that Jesus was doing his ministry and the culture that was surrounding him, he was Jewish, first of all, because Christianity wasn't a thing, because it was Jesus. But the Jewish temple court system was intense. I'm sure you guys remember hearing about all the insane, strict rules that come with Judaism. And here's an example of the temple court. Even the temple court where people went to worship God, there were so many degrees of separation for people, where some people, if you weren't Jewish, first of all, you couldn't enter this building. You couldn't enter this area. Women could only go as far as like the first, like inside the gate. Some men could go a little further in, and then only like the priests could go towards the inside level. And there was even a room called the Holy of Holies that only the most important priest was allowed to go into, and that was only one time of year. This room was separated by a really heavy curtain, and it was to signify it was a reminder of God's presence in heaven and on earth, and the curtain was a representation of the separation between God and humans. Before Jesus, there was a really big presence of sin within humanity, and so that presence meant that God couldn't be near us in the way that he is now, right? Because he's holy, he's good, he's righteous, he can't be within that. And so even the temple was a representation of the degrees of separation that God had with people. And so how do we get from that to Easter to Prism? There is a lot of aspects to the Easter story, but we're going to start at the end instead of starting at the beginning. And so, do you guys know why we celebrate Easter? Jesus resurrected, but first he had to die. That's right. Cheery. So here's the story. It comes out of Matthew, the end of the story. It says, they came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. It's happy. There they offered Jesus wine to drink mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots, and sitting down, they kept watch over him there. Above his head, they placed the written charge against him. This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. Do you guys know why Jesus was arrested in the first place? What his charge was? It rhymes with blasphemy. Yes, blasphemy. So Jesus going around saying that he was the Son of God and the King of the Jews did not sit well with the Romans who but King Caesar, whatever that political system was, it didn't sit well with them. And so they arrested Jesus on behalf of blasphemy. And of course, the religious leaders at the time didn't like anybody saying that Jesus was the Son of God and in this holy position. So that's why he was actually arrested. That's the charge that they used for an excuse to crucify him. So this plaque that was above his head that said, Jesus, King of the Jews, it was an insult and a mockery even in death. This wasn't them acknowledging his rightful place as the Son of God, but it was a joke. Crucifixion in general is a method of death that was supposed to be insulting and miserable. I don't know if you guys have looked into what crucifixion actually is, but when you're hanging on the cross, you suffocate because you can't support yourself because there are nails in your ankles and in your wrists, and so you're just hanging there until eventually you asphyxiate along with the pain of the actual beatings and everything. So that's how Jesus died. I don't know if you guys have ever put that much thought into it, but it is not a pretty story. When we wear crosses on our neck or have them hanging in our house, it is not beautiful, the thing that it represents. So that's Jesus on the cross. And it says, and when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice and gave up his spirit, when he finally died, at that moment the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. This is a very important moment in the Easter story and is a very significant representation of what the death of Jesus meant. That when Jesus died, the actual curtain in the temple was torn in two. The degree of separation was completely removed. It was gone. Because the sacrifice that Jesus made meant that we could be close to God. That is what happened when Jesus died. The days of separation were over. And thankfully, 3 days later, he was resurrected. We see that. And that's why we have the Easter celebration. You guys may feel distant or lonely from the people in your life. Maybe your family is strained. Maybe your friends just don't really see 100% of who you are, or you're in between friend groups or whatever. But it's important for you to know that there's no separation between you and God. That we feel that sometimes, but God is always near to us. And that's not to say that it's your fault for feeling distance. That's not what I'm saying at all. That just is a part of being humans, I think, that we let the world get in the way. But God is always near to us, and you can be close to God because the curtain is torn. There's nothing separating you from Him, and there's nothing that you can do to separate yourself from God or to keep Him from pursuing you. And with that, we have our next break. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about that, and I'll check back in a second. Just about another minute on this. All right, we're going to close this out and we'll have another break. Take your time. Hey, everybody good? Y'all are awesome. Just to close out, what do we do with that, knowing that Jesus has closed the gap? He has made the bridge. If God's over here and we're over here, Jesus made the bridge. It's a nice little image. What do we do with that? How do we take that and then wrestle with this idea that we still feel distant from God? What do we change for us to be able to feel close? Today, I want you guys to start to consider or reconsider what Jesus' life and death and resurrection really, truly means and the significance of it for you guys. That when there was a actual physical separation between God and his people that no longer exists. And we may have to wrestle through our human feelings sometimes. Some of you, I overheard some of your small groups just talking about how it's hard to feel that connection with a God who isn't physically standing in front of you, right? And so you may have to look for the ways that God is active in your life and the people that he talks to you through and the circumstances that he's present in. And Sean, you said it really well, that the more we communicate with God, the easier it is to hear his voice. But it's just getting that start. But you can be confident that because of Jesus, you can be close to God. But here's what we do with that as Jesus followers, that it is our job to treat other people like they can be connected to Jesus as well. That's what we're supposed to do, not in a way that we have it all together, not in a way that we can pray to God and hear a response instantly, but knowing that because of what Jesus did for us, that applies to everybody else. Everybody else. Whether they accept it or not, everybody else. So, in the same way that you may feel disconnected, you have to see that other people feel that too, not only from God, but from those around them. And if you can be that person, that makes people feel like someone is connected to them, it makes all the difference. And so that's one of the reasons we have small groups, first of all, so you guys can have these connections, forced groups on you guys, because it's so hard to find people to be in community with, right? Especially in middle and high school when you're just trying to get through the day, or you've got your friend groups and there's no room in other groups for you to try and join or co-mingle or whatever that is. But here in our small groups, we're coming from different schools, sometimes different grades, different backgrounds, and this is a place where we can just come together as sons and daughters of Jesus, right? So with that, knowing that we can be close to God, will you still long for community and good friendships? Yes. Will there still be days where you feel distant from God? Yes. But when we know the significance of what Jesus did for us and we can have confidence in knowing that we have access to God, that's what's going to begin to make the difference for us. So as we go into this Easter season, remember that. Remember what the cross means for us. And we'll go forward in this series and continue to talk about how we can be close to God. And remember that through Jesus, you don't ever have to be alone. And we're all in that same boat together. Small group leaders, this is going to be our last break. You guys could go ahead and use this time to close out, talk about anything else from this message that you guys need. Thanks. Middle school groups, y'all can close out and pray whenever you're ready.